It doesn't matter if it's fair. Comparing my journey, my discipline, my situation and story to others doesn't change what I need to do for myself. I'm not just big bone. My metabolism isn't naturally slow. I'm heavier because of how much I choose to eat and what I'm choosing to eat. I remember when I was younger, growing up, and I used to get upset that everyone around me seemed to be able to eat the exact same way that I was without putting on weight. Cousins, my siblings that lived in the same household. It always felt like I wasn't even the one eating the most, but I was the only one always packing on weight. I grew up being told, oh, your metabolism's just slow. Oh, you're big boned. This is just the way that God made you. And on and on and on the advice went, and the ways in which people tried to console me that honestly just really trapped me in a prison. It trapped me in a mindset where I just thought, this is my fate. There is no way I can change. No matter what I do, it's going to be harder for me. And honestly, those were all lies. Well-intentioned lies and just a lot of misinformation. I could change, I would change, I have changed. And if I could go back in time at the start of my journey, when I was a little girl, before even starting the YouTube channel, like when I was the little girl struggling with her weight and being told there was nothing I could really do about it because this is just how I was built, there is so much I want to say to that little girl. These are the hard truths of weight loss that I had to learn, and I hope they serve you well. So although I felt like I was eating the same as everyone else, spoiler alert, I was not. Metabolism does exist, and there definitely are differences, and some people do have slower or quicker metabolisms, but it's not so drastically different and can't cause the crazy differences in change and weight gain or weight loss that we tend to attribute to it. Nevertheless, even if my perception was off, it still was my truth at that point in time that these people just wouldn't put on weight, that we would eat the same things and I'd be the only one to blow up. And I was jealous. It's frustrating when you have friends who are naturally slim who don't have to think about their weight. They don't have to think about their diet, and they can maintain their size and relatively live their life with what seems like ease, right? While I'm on the other side fighting off the cravings, you know, convincing myself to drink a glass of water, repeating over and over, you're not hungry, you're not hungry, you're not hungry. Like, it was such a battle. And when I got into relationships and I had my first and second, third boyfriend and whatnot, I had a partner I even lived with at one point. The jealousy of being a woman who's next to a man, and you just see how different their bodies change and adapt to stimulus, right? You see how quickly they can shed fat, how easy it seems for them. The jealousy is so real. Seeing how they don't have to struggle the way that you do, that they don't pack on weight the way that you do. It's frustrating. Yes, it makes you want to pull your hair out. You feel like, woe is me. And there's a lot of emotion to deal with, but it doesn't change anything. It doesn't change what you have to do to get on top of your health and lose the weight. It doesn't mean that calorie counting and being in a deficit doesn't work. It works. Maybe it seems to work slower for you, but the point is it's still going to work. No matter how unfair that I thought it was, whether it was easier for this friend than it was for me, or it's easier for men than a woman, or they can't eat it, no matter how unfair it felt, it doesn't change what I have to do to change my life. Who cares what fair is? Focusing and comparing myself to other people is not going to help me succeed. Sitting there fuming and being angry at God isn't going to change what I need to do for my life. And that's one harsh truth I had to learn about weight loss. Who cares if it's fair? It may not be fair, but who cares? I used to get mad at myself that it's taken this long for me to lose the weight. I used to think, oh, if I would have lost it 5 years back, if I would have lost it 10 years back, if I would have handled this while I was in my prime, life would be so different. I would get so hyper-focused on if I would have lost the weight, how the past could have been different, and then my current future, that I'm like daydreaming and focusing on a whole reality that doesn't exist. Would it have been awesome to lose the weight 5 years ago? Sure. Yes, of course. But I didn't. So we're here today. What am I going to do today? The best time to lose the weight, to get it done, to do anything in life was a year ago. But the second best time is right now. Don't freak yourself out by focusing on the negative, by grieving a past life that you didn't live. You still have a future ahead of you that's worth living. It took me time after time and failure after failure to finally see the weight come off. And the last time that I tried, I was 26 years old. 26. At this point, I was feeling so defeated. I honestly struggled with even seeing the point of trying. I was 26 and thinking I had already wasted my prime. I wasted my best years. Maybe it's time I accept this. Maybe I'm meant to live the rest of my life this way. And I'm so happy that I didn't give in to that thought process and narrative. I restarted my journey for the final time at 26. And if I hadn't have done that, who knows where I would be today. If I would have got hung up on, these are my best years, I already wasted it, the rest of my life is trash, like who even cares? I probably missed out on my future husband and all this other nonsense, then I wouldn't be where I am today. You still have so much of life ahead of you. Don't bog yourself down thinking about missed opportunities, missed job promotions, missed people you could have been dating. Like, it's not worth the energy, it's not worth the effort. And honestly, if you don't focus and buckle down right now, then 10 years from now, all you're gonna do is ruminate and think about this time that you're wasting again. So all of these thoughts change nothing. They just make you dwell on the past when you should be focusing on your future. Would it have been better if I lost the weight 10 years earlier? Sure, but I didn't. I'm doing it now, and that's all that counts. I may have loose skin by the end of this. This was a harsh truth I had to accept years ago. Of course, right now, I've already lost 80 pounds. I already got loose skin removal surgery. I made videos about it. You guys can watch. But when I was younger, I was really scared of having loose skin. And I know this is a thing for many people embarking on weight loss journeys. I used to tell myself I'd rather stay bigger and plump than to just be thin and have to deal with the loose skin. But that was not the truth. That was just me making excuses to postpone something I already felt I wasn't capable of overcoming and doing myself. But life with loose skin was much better. And of course, life having gotten the loose skin removal is also even better. But a hard truth I had to accept was, you know what? I might have loose skin. I might, and you might. And I had to accept that, to fully give this my all, to learn what my body could do, to push myself past the limits, and to not have an excuse that held me back. So often we have excuses that hold us back from trying. We can be fearful of actually succeeding, fearful of what that's going to look like, how different life's going to be, how people will react and treat us, how we will respond to our own bodies. And this fear can oftentimes keep us stagnant right where we are and give us the excuse we need to never make a change. I had to grapple and come to terms with the fact, yeah, I might have loose skin. And honestly, having had the loose skin for so long, I don't know why I was so scared of it. It's definitely worth the pride I felt having accomplished the weight loss, the added extra years to my life that I definitely gave myself. It was more than worth it. And I also have a video to talk about that one too. Look at me being able to just reference all my little videos, okay? I know how hard it is to tackle a weight loss journey, to be afraid that by the end of it, you might not have your dream body. But you have to remember that this is more than just about you obtaining the dream body. This is about your health. This is about having more time on this earth with the people that you love and that who love you. This is a harsh truth. It's totally worth it. Having to decrease my alcohol intake or to not go out at all. This was a harsh truth that I really had to accept, and I still at times have to accept it. I'm doing my 12-week cut. It's only 12 weeks. I done got on camera, stood there in a bra and panties, said this is my body. By the end of it, bet we're gonna see change. And I am not gonna let too many nights out and cocktails stop me from hitting my goal. So this is something I still have to acknowledge and put parameters on and give myself boundaries with. If you know alcohol is ruining your weekends, making you eat back all the calories, you go out, you become careless, and you end up eating up the entire deficit you've been creating, then maybe this might be a hard truth for you. Maybe you need to limit your going out until you're able to be more in control, be more disciplined. The payoff will 100% be worth it. Losing weight slowly. This was a hard truth for me to accept. You know, we all hear the stories. I lost 70 pounds in 6 months. I lost 100 pounds in 1 year. And I definitely started my YouTube channel thinking that was gonna be me. That's gonna be 1 year of focus, 1 year of grind, and I was gonna change my life. Here we are, 8 years later. And it's been a lot of back and forth, a lot of losing and gaining until the last 3 years where it's been steady 80 pounds. And this was something I had to accept. My weight loss might work best if I lose it slowly. I like to have a balanced life. I can do some short, intense, focused cuts, but I can't sacrifice 6 months or a year of my life, eat broccoli and chicken every day and be happy. I couldn't do it. I didn't want to do it. I didn't have the desire enough in me to do that. And I had to accept that, you know, having a smaller caloric deficit so the weight can go off slowly but comfortably and surely is better than having a super steep deficit that I'm constantly failing and not losing any weight at all. So I had to embrace my slow weight loss, and I'm really happy that I did. For me, trying to crash diet and do crazy intense cuts just resulted in me binge eating and giving up and rinse and repeat. And so slow weight loss, that's for me. Messing up one meal on my plan isn't an excuse to blow the whole day. I don't know why we do this. We don't do this with anything else in life. We don't drop our cell phone and say, oh no, there's a crack, and then stomp it to death because we might as well. But we do that with our diets all the time. And so another hard truth I had to recognize was I am going to fail. I'm going to slip up, but what matters is making sure I get back up again. You are trying to change your life and live a completely new normal. It should be expected that you're going to slip up sometimes while you're trying to trot a new path that you haven't done before. So expect to slip up. And that one mistake is not an excuse to just go backwards completely and give up on yourself. This is a hard truth of weight loss. You're going to slip, you're going to fall, but let's try to make it a little tumble as opposed to just rolling down a hill and just dropping off a mountain, okay? Intuitive eating is not for me. I made a whole video talking about things I've learned and mistakes I've made that kept me fat, and intuitive eating was high up on that list. This was another hard truth for me. Intuitive eating is something that's no longer on the table for me because my intuition is out of whack. My body, my brain, my stomach wants to eat to sustain the size that it is. Realizing that my idea of hunger is off. My idea of a normal portion size is off. And this was a hard truth. This is why calorie counting was so pivotal for me and so important for me. And it's why I recommend it to all of my clients. I have to count calories to relearn what a healthy portion size is, to relearn how much my body needs in a day. Does it feel off at first? Yes. When I'm first trying to track calories for the size I want to be and I'm eating 1,700 right now on my diet, I'm doing 15, but you get what I'm saying. It's hard at first because you're like, yo, this is so little food. But then it prompts you and challenges you to change the types of foods you're eating and consuming so you're getting more bang for your buck. There's so much change involved in this process, and that's what makes it so difficult. But these are some harsh truths of weight loss. Thank you guys for watching this video. Please like and subscribe. I would love to hear any harsh truths that you've learned about your weight loss journey because these are some of mine and I hope you find it helpful. So I'm gonna go. I'll see you next week with another video.